Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Man Box. I am Rick Fry.
But Jesus spent time with people in need in which there was no sermon.
Right.
He touched the leper. And homeless people are the modern day lepers of our society.
Yes.
Especially if they have a felony record or a mental illness or an addiction, or even worse, all three. Yeah. And, Jesus touched the man who had blind eyes. He encouraged the man on the bed to get up. He touched the casket of the dead body, which was a violation of the law.
Sure.
Ministry is
That's
about
right.
serving.
Serving, yes.
Yes.
And serving involves touching. Mm-hmm. And to touch the world that we need to change, and it is our responsibility to change our world, we have to get out and touch people.
Amen.
Obviously, our start was we went downtown with food and clothing and started feeding and clothing homeless people and building relationships and praying with them and whatnot. That ended up being bringing homeless people into our home and discipling them and healing them as part of our family. Mm-hmm. When we bring people into our home, we make them go back to the street with us. And a lot of times they don't want to go back to the street because they're afraid someone will recognize them. They're afraid they'll see their dealer again. They've got away from that pain and they don't want to go reconnect with that pain of being on the street. But our deal is if there's a divine appointment that brings you to us, or we found you, or someone else sent you to us, however you got there, if you're in our house, that's a divine appointment, first off. Mm-hmm. Second, we're going to make you part of our family. We're going to heal you as part of our family. We're going to get you ready to be restored back into regular society again. And our hope, our goal is that everybody that comes through our house and gets at least significantly through the Radical Life Transformation Training and Mentoring Program is going to stay with us in ministry, either because they got their own place, they got their own job, their own family again, and they volunteer in the ministry, or they're going to identify as being part of the ministry, and they're going to case manage, or they're going to fundraise, or they're going to disciple, or they're going to work on vehicles that go, or whatever. But they're going to be a regular weekly part of the ministry. And then what I say is, now that doesn't mean that you have to do what we do the rest of your life.
Right.
Because while you're with us, you're not only being discipled, you're not only being healed, you're not only being ready to be restored into regular society, but you're learning the principles of ministry that are the same, irregardless of what your demographic or your people group or your passion for particular people or problem is. So whether you're dealing with single mothers who have autistic children, or parents who have children with severe disabilities, or you're dealing with old folks at the nursing home, or you're dealing with men who have issues with pornography and their marriages are on the rocks because of that. Ministry is ministry. Serving people and healing people, using the gifts and the call and the experiences that God provides for you is the same.
Amen.
The application is different. The activities might be different, but the principles are the same.
Yep.
Yes.
Loving people is loving people no matter what people group you're with. When you see a need, you seek to fill it.
Yeah.
If you live your life under the understanding that I woke up today, because I woke up today, there are adventures with God to be had. There are divine appointments to be experienced. So there are circumstances going to cross my path today that I have to respond to. On the other hand, he speaks to us on a regular basis, and we hear his voice. And so we are dreaming his dream. His dream is that all the world would be discipled and come into a relationship with him. His dream is that every person would be set into a family and experience love. And so he is always speaking to us about those things. Now, we may tune him out because we don't want to hear those things. We may tune him out because the only voice of God we hear is from the preacher on Sunday morning,
Right.
or on whatever television program that you ascribe to on a regular basis. But he is always speaking to us about what he wants to accomplish in the earth because of who he is.
Yes.
Not that God is a doer,
Because he's done it all.
but he manifests who he is.
Yes.
So God is love. So what does he do? He seeks every day, not that he lives by days, but we live by days.
Right.
He seeks in all of our days to manifest his love
Amen.
through us.
Amen.
He is spirit. We are flesh and body interacting with each other. So he's a visionary God. You know, he finishes a thing before he begins it. So he loves the whole world. And he's raised us up in advance to be that expression of his love. So he's operating by a vision, but he lives in the midst of everybody's circumstance.
Amen.
Yes.
And so the answer is yes. We
Yes.
respond to circumstance, and we live by vision.
And the word vision means, what do you see? Wayne's working on a second book called Invisible People. Well, homeless people are not invisible to us because we see them. A lot of people drive through Oklahoma City and you see them on the corner, but you don't really turn and look at them. You don't make eye contact. Well, I would say you would see them if you ever look into their eyes. Take the time to look into their eyes and have a simple conversation. Then you'll see them. And that vision is what keeps bringing provision for what we do.